Hi, this is Andrea. I'm going to be giving my perspective at the end of this interview with regards to health, the healthcare system, and an equal money system. Thank you.
Oral hygiene and the obvious fact that there is no higher gene that makes man an effective organism. Let's look at the problem with oral hygiene. Oral hygiene is required to keep your teeth in a condition that will prolong the use of them and obviously prolong your life as well. Those two things go hand in hand. I've just been to oral hygiene, something that I've not been able to do most of my life due to its cost. Fascinating that within an hour and a half, two people who has been treated with oral hygiene, the cost of it is the same as the minimum wage in South Africa. Therefore, most people in South Africa can't afford to do that. And remember that in South Africa, 45% of the people are unemployed. They don't even get the minimum wage. And yet, oral hygiene is a critical part of having a healthy, dignified life. If you don't have that, you lose your teeth early, like me. They have to take them all out now. There is virtually no way of saving it. The only problem has been I didn't have enough money in my life to have this done regularly. It should be done at least once a year. Obviously, our way of eating and the food has become such that it do not support healthy teeth. It supports dentistry and making sure that dentists and all the hygienists make some money as well. Oh, it's such a wonderful system, this hygiene system, so-called healthy. God was a master in creating a system of dependency, a system of slavery. We are now slaves to our hygiene. Can you believe that? And through that, we are obviously slaves to money. And most don't have enough money, so we are slaves to the elite that has money. Isn't that fascinating, that only the elite can live long lives because they have the money to secure that? Otherwise, they would not have been able to. Money, equal money for all. It is about time.
So with regards to this point of the physical body and the experience of myself here in this physical reality, when did I start becoming aware of myself as the physical? Due to my own pre-programmed design and every single other human's pre-programming, you throughout your life have a tendency of getting certain illnesses. Some people, for example, will have, let's say, heart problems. Other people will get diabetics. Other will get broken bones. Some will have skin problems. Some will have hormonal problems. You know, you can just look at your own experience throughout your life and you will notice that you've had certain health issues, or you've had maybe since childhood certain psychological problems or issues that you were unable to walk through. And my own experience, for example, if I look at it, I've already had 2 broken bones, so physically my body breaks quite easily. And since childhood I had acne, and I've had things like recurring bladder infections throughout my life. And, my own physical design is such that whatever stress or sort of, you could say, even emotional compounding point that I experience within my world, my physical responds to that. And that is, of course, in itself been very assisting and very supportive. However, if you observe, the majority of people on this planet are not at that point where they can say something like that, where they can say, wow, I have had great support from my bladder infection because it has assisted me in seeing this or seeing that I'm over emotional, seeing that I harbor compounding thoughts towards myself and others, things like that. I'm now simply referring to the total design of the human within the tendency of illness. And, when I started becoming aware of my own physical body and how it, just throughout my life I would become ill here and, normal sort of experiences that we have. And I started noticing that every time you go to a doctor, or such as in this case, in this interview, you have to go to a dentist for basic things like basic health care, where you are supporting your physical, to be you. I mean, you are your physical, and you are in this physical for this entire lifetime. And every time you require to go to a doctor or dentist for some basic support for your one physical body that you are walking in for this entire lifetime, it costs a lot of money. And every time that I have myself had to go to a doctor or dentist, I've always thought to myself, there are not that many people who have that luxury. It's actually an absolute luxury to be able to go to a doctor or dentist. And these should be basic things that make our lives here much more comfortable, and basic things that support us as the physical, because things happen to us, to the physical, and many people are not able to support themselves through that point because the medical industry is in it for greed. I mean, it's become an absolute point of greed. It's become an absolute justification that because that doctor or that dentist studied for 6 to 10 to 12 years, it gives that fraternity, that sort of career path, it gives those jobs and those corporations permission to distance themselves and separate themselves from humanity, from what the whole point is of what they should be standing for. I mean, if you studied to become a healthcare professional, did you not, or should you not have done it from the starting point of supporting people? I mean, when does it become simply about greed? Because, often we speak to people about what would happen in an equal money system, that we would study something to become something because you're doing it to support all of humanity, because you understand the importance of the role that you are playing. And unfortunately, the justification that we get from a lot of people when we talk about how an equal money system will actually work, how qualifications will work, why people will study what they study, what kind of career paths will still be applicable within an equal money system, and what will fall by the wayside because it was all based just on ego and greed. And what people say to us is, oh, but why should I earn the same money as somebody who cleans a toilet? I studied for 6 to 12 years to become a doctor. Therefore, again, the ego of man is so great that we always look beyond why we're doing what we're doing. And we look towards the point of tallying up and having a value system of, oh, but I am this, and I studied for this long to become this, and I make so much money. Therefore, as humanity, we've completely, from my perspective, lost the entire point of why we are all here, why we were born here on this planet, why were we created? I mean, if it's become about abuse and struggling, then what is the point of us being humanity? So I suggest, we all take a look at, if we were to start again, and you were a god, for example, and you were given the ability or had the ability to create a planet and beings on it, would you again allow such a mentality that we are in now, that you can see so many thousands of years later, the beings that you create are again going to completely trap themselves in survival, in greed, in only looking out for themselves with regards to my experience in how much money I can have? Because look at the current world systems. You can only have an experience of yourself if you have money. It has not become any more about being here in the physical reality. It's become about you are an entity living inside a physical body, dependent on money for how you experience yourself. And I don't find that acceptable. I think that the comfort that the elite of the world, meaning those who have enough money to buy things, the comfort that those beings and experience to be able to take care of themselves, and myself, I include myself in that because I have the money to go to a doctor if I need to. That experience I want equal for everybody, because to me it is not about me coming into this world and having to fight and compete with others for money, to be able to buy my experience with money and feel better about myself because I have a better experience than the next person. To me, I want to see everybody born into this physical reality having a dignified life, being able to live to the fullest and having what I have, doing to my neighbor what I would want to do to myself. I want every being on this planet having an equal opportunity, being able to take care of themselves, buy their food, educate themselves, and have proper health care when they require so. Thank you very much.